late game and just play a straight macro fest. And when he has the hatcheries end game, he tends to be very effective with them, utilizes units very well. So let's see how this works out. It looks like a couple turrets down, really expecting, tech switch to Mutalisk, it looks like, planting the turrets as well. And this is just slowing his economy down, because it doesn't look like Machine, actually no, I take it back, he does have the Spire up, but Machine for the moment didn't look like he was making any indicator. So at least it'll be able to stop the Mutalisks, but still I worry about Machine just getting too big too fast, and it looks like he is taking a fourth base. The one thing in Artosis' favor is this is still Destination, and Destination, once you have this emplacement out where you can get basically siege tanks along this bridge, it is so difficult to take out a Terran that's entrenched. Mech is so strong. Siege tanks up on this cliffside edge devastate everything. Tanks over kind of this cliffside edge, protecting that expansion, devastating, and it's very difficult for a Zerg player to really accomplish anything. But right now, very siege tank light, just Goliath, and a complete Goliath defense. Now the starport being placed to perhaps tech up a little bit, maybe even produce a Wraith, go Overlord hunting, something along those lines. I can't imagine we're going to see a dropship here in the early game. It looks like Machine has a lot of Hydralisks already prepared for kind of a vulture push right there. He's got the Hydralisks in the way, also has that Mountain Colony along the lines. Pretty good sized force actually already out, and I think this is just kind of the minimal effort here. It looks like he's kind of spotting out this 10 o'clock position. Let's see if he takes that shortly. Mined out his back edge to start mining that upper right, and he's already at 4 bases versus Artosis' 2, so Artosis really needs to get some economic damage done. He needs to slow Machine's economy down somehow, even though Machine hasn't really harassed his economy at all. And just the fact that he went with those early vultures and gone kind of the Goliath first build and really gone kind of a little bit more troop heavy, really hasn't been pumping his economy all that much, is taking a somewhat late third. Machine's going to be in a great position. Still though, keep in mind, Destination, level 1's weapons already upgraded, going to make it even more difficult. Looks like 2 machine shops down, 2 additional factories being placed, and now comes the tank pump. But some Hydralisks already kind of hanging out along the edge. They're thinking about doing a push maybe. Look, the tanks are probably going to have siege tank just in the right, just kind of the nick of time to deal with this. I'm not sure why this isn't the upper edge, and right now Machine just kind of exploring expansions, making sure that Artosis hasn't expanded. Looks like he's going to be able to take this barracks out, so it looks like Artosis is going to have to build another barracks here, but the siege tanks that are coming, it looks like 2 more siege tanks, as well as that siege tech really going to stop that Hydralisk sort. Machine not really going to press it though, just going to play just expanding everywhere, taking the 10 o'clock. Looks like he's thinking about taking this 3 o'clock expansion, completely macroing up, and he can already swing over. It looks like he's already got the Queen's Nest on the way, 2 evolution chambers down. Yeah, he can already swing towards Hive Tech, and he's going to be in a great position before Artosis even takes his third. He might even have the Filers out before Artosis decides to press out to take his third. If Machine can kind of stomp down on that, I'm not sure that he's going to have the timing for it, but if Artosis doesn't move out fairly quickly, he's going to be in trouble. Looks like he's in a position to do so. I think he's waiting for the Armor 1 upgrade. A couple Mulisks running backside. Looks like they were able to get, I think they were able to get 1 SCV building that turret right there. Maybe a second SCV building that barracks. That's going to slow down additional factory production. 2 more coming across the line. Seeing those Goliaths, though, they're going to have to back off. But again, that was really late Muta compared to what you'll see otherwise. Armor 1 should be shortly. Looks like he's waiting for the second science vessel just in case there's any lurkers out in the field. Artosis has been playing in the dark this complete time. Keep in mind, hasn't gotten Academy, hasn't put down a ComSat station, really playing kind of a forward tech and a little bit in the dark. Now he's going to try to take this command center in the dark here too. Machine already swinging there. He had the Overlord to spot it. He's going to be able to slow this down by killing that SCV. Might even take out the command center. Let's see if he decides to camp and plan it. There are Goliaths that might be coming on swing. Looks like Machine's not actually going to give an engagement, just back off. Here, the second science vessels, the Armor 1 Goliaths, and a couple siege tanks moving out. So Artosis taking this expansion a little bit late. Doesn't look like Machine's going to press down, but still Machine in a fantastic economic position. I've got to say, level 1 armor already upgraded. Looks like level 1 weapons upgraded as well, and also additional upgrades kind of swinging along the way. Artosis just now taking his third. Machine's at 5 bases, might lose a Mutals right there, but Artosis taking up the spot he really needs to. He's just kind of a little bit more forward, maybe. He's going to need more siege tanks before he does that, of course, but if he can kind of mine up this middle field and go from there, looks like a single over this back left corner is going to get assassinated here, but yeah, if he can mine up this forward position, get some siege tanks along the way, he'll be in a really good spot. What Machine needs to do in the meantime, if he's going to go headlong against this, is just put down a a ton of hatcheries and let his economy do the work, essentially. He's got a brutal amount of resources, so he's already got defilers along the way. I assume he's already got an ultra... No, looks like the Ultralisk Cavern is being put on hold, and actually he's got a lot of Hydralisks here. A whole lot of Hydralisks. Looks like he's filling most of his supply with this. Also taking the 3 o'clock position. Artosis still not taking the 4 o'clock. Single LCV kind of scouting out. I just still don't think he has a comsat. Yeah, still playing without a comsat station. Really hasn't needed up the stage. Hydralisk looks like got... I think that's the kill it got right there. I'm brutally able to stop that. Looks like this expansion finally up for Artosis. I'm not seeing... there's the SCV transfer with a couple vultures. And he's going to start playing that camp game out in the middle here. But Machine, again, I don't think he's in too bad a position to work against this. If he can just plant a ton of hatcheries down and just kind of brutally attack this before Artosis can get a lot of factories to kind of resupply, he can try to whittle that force down and just instantly refill his supply. He can go down to basically 120, go right back up to 200 really fast, and keep the pressure on, and just make sure he's going coast to coast. Attack the 9 o'clock expansion, attack the 2 o'clock or the 4 o'clock expansion, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and back and forth. Again, kind of the brutal thing though is with that supply depot in the way, the siege tanks right on that ramp, it's difficult to work with. The middle of the field still wide open though, and it looks like the Overlord is in fact seeing that, and still no siege tanks cliffside edge, so it looks like that secondary is still somewhat exposed. Artosis expecting a drop, and he's going heavy anti-drop. You can see all these Goliaths, all these turrets, just kind of anticipating it. A little pausing a bit on the force. Looks like he's now going to take his mineral only expansion bottom left, finally getting some comsat up to kind of see what's going on out in the field. And Machine moving in, and he's actually filled the majority of his supply with Hydralisks, so before he goes Ultralisk, he's actually probably going to need to thin his numbers out here, because he's, and there it looks like there's the Ultralisk Cavern, going to plant a couple more hatcheries down, have a lot of troops. Looks like the Vulture's going to be able to run and not going to catch any drones because they're not in position here. The Hydralisk's going to start moving forward, and let's see what these Vultures do. It looks like they're going to pull back. Actually, Mutalisks running down the field to try to take care of this, so no harm, no foul, it looks like. Artosis does have an SCV here. Okay, he's just now taking that expansion. A ton of really good, again, kind of a nice position here, but still no mines out in the middle of the map. And really the Goliaths, never mind. I was about to say the Goliaths haven't pushed forward to take care of those Mutalisks, but it looks like the Mutalisks are going to take care of themselves. That's going to open up those Vultures to start planting those mines out in the middle of the field. And with a little bit of tank support there, the Hydralisk's not really going to be able to clear that all that quickly. Artosis, for whatever reason, okay, now he's planting those mines. I was saying it looked like he was playing a little bit too forward there. He's starting to plant some mines across this 9 o'clock, so might be thinking about taking that in the near future. Is that the... I'm sorry, reverse. Yeah, actually, no, that's right. Able to sneak in a couple Vultures, but not able to get a lot done. Really nice defense there between the Sunken Colony. A single mine killing a single Hydralisk. Otherwise, it looks like these Hydralisks are going to march right back up and kind of clear this. Still a lot of Vultures marauding out through the field. Expansion coming online, bottom left-hand corner. It looks like Machine has been able to establish that 3 o'clock, and he's at max supply. So he's going to want to attack sooner rather than later. I'm curious if he's waiting for upgrades. It looks like he just started it. So no, he's probably going to want to empty his supply of all these Hydralisks, actually, so he can switch back in to more of an Ultralisk build. Granted, the Mutalisks will melt pretty hard to these tanks, but again, it's not so much... well, he's actually want to kind of fill his bank first so he can immediately replenish. So basically that's the process, is let himself build up a lot of resources so he can immediately replenish, attack with a lot of units, then instantly resupply with the rest of the units, essentially. But still, midfield, there's a lot of siege tanks down below, still no cliffside, so I feel like the secondary is somewhat vulnerable. Artosis now pushing up to take the 9 o'clock. I feel like this is the worst time to do it because it looks like Machine is starting to flood down for an attack straight down the middle of the map. And yeah, he's going to push down. It looks like there's no siege tanks to really stop this along the way. There is that one just to the left, but it's not going to catch a lot of these Hydralisks. And there's that Defiler alongside. And these Defiler Hydralisks should be able to breach. Siege tanks now marching up. And now let's see if he can get some swarm on to get those Hydralisks across. And there's that first swarm. If he can get that second swarm, what he needs to do though is just move those Hydralisks straight through instead of having them stop and attack. And it looks like they are in fact stopping and attacking here and there. So